Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. I really want to film a weekly knitting vlog, kind of a day in a life of a really relaxed week basically. And sorry if you can hear some noise, it's my PC that's lighting up my face right now. I thought I might as well start with updating on the whip I showed in my last video. So I think right after I filmed that, I finished both of the sleeves so that I would be able to get enough for the body. I was being really optimistic with the black yarn. I think I even showed how much black yarn I had left over, and actually no, I showed the grey. The grey I still have, but the black yarn I'm completely out of after finishing both the sleeves and then doing one row of the body. So I have it on scrap yarn right now, so I can show you it on as well. This is what it looks like with both the sleeves finished. I love it so much. I feel like the stripes being evenly spaced just gives it a completely different look to the product photos. On the, well, I forgot to say, yeah, this is the step-by-step sweater. I didn't talk a lot about it in the last video because I have I think I showed two other ones. This is knitted with 5.5mm needles and is a really easy raglan construction. So this is what it looks like on. The sleeves are a bit shorter than I would have wanted, and again that's because I was running out of the black and I really wanted to get the sleeves done. I genuinely thought I would be able to get another stripe and the ribbing done with how much yarn I had left. This is the remainder of that black yarn. I've ordered the black yarn again from eBay, and I'm really hoping it's the same fiber content. I don't know if you've ordered from eBay before, but it's really hard when buying yarn from people who sell with no labels and stuff. But I bought again from the same seller, and the picture was similar, but it wasn't the exact same, so we'll just have to see when it comes. And yeah, so this whip is pending. It would definitely have been finished by now because it's so quick, but that's pending. Couple days ago I started some mittens, so that is my finished object since my last video. These are really cute, really cute. So these are my first ever mittens, yeah, complete mittens. They're really cute. They're in a purpley color. I'm sorry about the lighting in the situation, but I just wanted to start my video now, because it's Monday today and I want to do the whole week. So yeah, these are, I think they come across true to color even though the lighting's so bad. This is an acrylic yarn. My friend actually gifted this to me. This pattern is called The World's Simplest Mittens by Tinker Knits. I think they're another OG on Ravelry, and I think a lot of people have used this pattern before. I mean, I'm looking at it right now, 24,000 projects with this pattern, and that's absolutely crazy. I did the chunky version, and I also knitted these in an adult medium. I did modify them to make each section 1 inch shorter because I feel there's so many different weights of chunky. Maybe mine was super chunky. I used the the yarn is called King Cole Big Value Stormy Super Chunky, so there you go. Each of the mittens were about 65 grams or 66 grams, so the total for both was 134, and they're so cute. Really oversized still. I probably would have cast on maybe maybe 5 less stitches, and it would have like fit my hand better. I feel like right now it looks a bit silly. It looks like other mittens, but I have used them. I used them today when I was taking my grandma to the airport, and I feel like they're really, really warm, and they do look well knitted. It's just that there is a lot of positive ease, and maybe that's a good thing, or I think the fact that I use chunky acrylic yarn, it just looks a bit silly. I feel like if the yarn was like wool, it would have molded to my hand better. Definitely after blocking too, like it would be more drapey. I mean, maybe this yarn will change over washing, but for now it's fine. Like, I'm just being really picky about these mittens. I think they're really, really pretty color. The color is called Tempest. Yeah, again, it's like this really true purple. I think it's melange yarn, like when there's 2 different colors going through it the whole time. Like, it looks like I held it with something else, but this is the yarn itself. I'm thinking of making another pair in like a more neutral color, or probably a navy, because I feel like that would match with like jeans and stuff. But yeah, these were a super quick knit. I think each of them took maybe 2 hours or less. Don't really remember, but yeah, I would recommend this pattern if you haven't tried it already. And it's so easy to modify, like, because you only have to knit until a specific length, and you can just keep trying it on and like measuring against yourself. I also wanted to say, yeah, so because I did a chunky version, the main millimeter needle was 5, which makes it even quicker. But you can see like that is kind of a reason why these look so stiff, is because this yarn is a lot more chunky than I think a regular chunky yarn. So yeah, this is the recent finished object. I finished it yesterday, and the jumper, I'm just waiting for the yarn. I think it should arrive, so today's Monday, it should come either tomorrow or the day after. So I'll do that when that yarn comes. In the meantime, I'm kind of thinking of knitting another pair of mittens in Drops Melody to match my roomy balaclava, because I don't really have yarn to start like another big project, even though I really want to, until I actually buy yarn. And I think I won't be buying yarn until like, God knows, like maybe in February I'll buy yarn. But before then, I really want to use up stash, because I feel like I've been doing a really good job using up all the yarn I've purchased over the past like 3-4 years. And yeah, I think I don't have a lot. I mean, I'm looking at my Ravelry stash right now. Not that I have like too much to look at, but this is how I package my yarn. And like these little plastic bags. These are like the bags you get for buying a duvet. I think there was a duvet in here, yeah. And I have 2 of these. It's actually such a good container for yarn, but the only thing is I have to store them like stacked on top of each other, and then you have to go through the whole thing to get yarn out. But it is quite nice being able to see like everything I have just from like a cross section. This yarn I actually really want to use. So this is the yarn. It is, yeah, Yarn Art. This is probably going to be flipped, so it says a Yarn Art Jeans Tropical, and it's in the shade, in the color 615. I've seen this yarn on Knitting Network and also on Ravelry. It shows that people have used this for like baby clothes, or like I've seen a lot of tops in this, but I only have two skeins and I don't want to buy more, because then this is not like a practical thing for me to wear. But it is a really pretty like variegated yarn, and it is 55% cotton and 45% acrylic, so it makes sense why people are making like summer tops out of this. It is a fine yarn, so like probably a fingering weight yarn, and it says 3.5 millimeters needles, so maybe, yeah, I think it is a sport weight yarn. I've never really worked with a like sport weight yarn. I think maybe in crochet but not in knitting. I do want to knit this up because I feel like it would look really good knitted up. I was kind of thinking maybe to hold it with like this faux mohair yarn that I have that's in a white, to like maybe add some texture to it, like some fuzz, but I don't know what I'm gonna make with this yet. I was thinking after finishing these mittens, I've been like really wanting to make another pair, but this is just not a practical color for me. I feel like it could be cute like around the neck as maybe like a wrap, or like everyone's making the Sophie shawl right now. If I haven't figured out what to do, please let me know in the comments, because I really want to destash my yarn, not to buy more, but like just so there's more overall space. Before I finish Monday's clip, I want to show you what I found recently. I forgot when it was, but I had like a craze of just knitting granny squares. I'm pretty sure it was at the beginning of last year, or like from 2023 to 2024, like during that transition. I ended up making like, I can't be bothered to count all of these, but there's probably like 30 granny squares here, and I separated them by size, so there's like 5 of these that are like all the same. I think I have more of these, but they are actually meant to have an outline. This is what they were meant to look like. I really love, I think I showed again, I keep talking about this yarn. It's like a magenta color. I would love to make a sweater in that color, but I didn't actually have enough to finish all these granny squares, or I did and I just didn't end up doing it because I think one of them would not get a border and I needed all of them for the project I was making. If I was to do it right now, I would make like a headband or like half a balaclava, but I don't know. I'm just showing you like all the squares I made. So these are the larger sizes. Almost all of these are like scrap yarn, and they're not that like uniform at all. I think these are large sizes because I used Aran yarn, and then these are like my DK squares. So there's like a lot of variety. Like if I show you all of these, maybe give you some color inspo, but for me it's just like really daunting to see like all these granny squares here with nothing in mind. I have made a granny square tote bag before. Actually, this is my favorite one. I've made a granny square tote bag before, but because some of the yarn is like, there's not, yeah, the tension is quite loose for these squares, so they will like drape a lot and stretch. But also another problem is that they don't really all go together. I know that's fine, like for them to not to, but I think more realistically I might make like a pillowcase for like my chair, or I think that would be like a really fun thing to do, and I think I have enough for a full pillowcase. As for the big ones, I really want to get rid of these, but I will think of something. Okay, so it's now Tuesday and I've figured out what to make with the yarn that I just showed. This jean tropical yarn. It took me going through like lots of Ravelry patterns. I just selected like sport weight and then a free pattern. I wanted to get a free pattern, so I found this pattern for a cat sweater called Hershey's sweater, and it actually uses DK, but the pattern calls for a sport weight. So I think my cat might let me try it on her. We'll have to see. I might even insert clips of that when I finish this project, because I feel like I can get it finished by today if I have the time. But yeah, I feel like this will be a perfect color to go against her black fur. And yeah, and it actually uses up less than a 50-gram ball, which is quite surprising. Like, as someone who's plus size, I've never like used such little yarn, which is why it's so hard. Like all my stash yarn is basically like 200 grams maximum, or they're like all single skeins, which is kind of hard to find projects for. But that's why I love Ravelry so much. Like, this was kind of, it only took me 5 minutes to go through all those patterns and find this one. So did I say who the designer was? I don't think I did. This pattern is by Francesca Caricato, and she made it with the purpose of like having a warm sweater for your cat, but mine is kind of the opposite. This one is 55% cotton, so I'm really hoping it doesn't like make my cat uncomfortable, because cats who don't like wearing stuff, I mean, my cat doesn't even let me put collars on her. Like, we've bought 20 different collars and she always manages to take them off herself. So we're just gonna have to see. But regardless, I feel like this would be a really great project to make with this yarn, even if she doesn't wear it. So I'll update you when I've gotten started on this. Okay, quick update. I did a half a gauge swatch because I'm lazy, I guess. And okay, this is the third attempt basically. So first I used the suggested millimeters, which was 3.5, and I realized that I don't have a long cable for that. I only have these short cables, and I wouldn't be able to do like magic loop. So then I decided to do 4mm needles. So these are 4mm, and I did one strand because again it's sport weight, and for some reason I did not meet gauge at all. Like, there was a lot less, like it was 1.5 inches for what was meant to be 2 inches, and the stitches were completely see-through. So then I was like, oh, let me just hold 2 of the sport weight yarns, because again the pattern calls for sport weight, but my sport weight was clearly not meeting the gauge, which is 22 stitches for 10 inches. This is now 10 stitches, and again I held it double and it's not even 1.5 inches. So I don't know what I'm doing wrong, like, honestly. And it's a lot tighter, but I feel like this definitely fills up the spaces a lot more by holding it double. But at the same time, when I'm seeing the project images, they're not this thick. Like, the stitches are not this thick. Maybe the gauge was written wrong, because I am typically a loose knitter, which is why I wasn't doubting that I would meet gauge. I was actually worried that with the 4mm needles my gauge might be a bit like bigger than the suggested, but the fact that it's smaller, I don't really know what's going on, because I am definitely a loose knitter. So I'm trying to think about whether I should just knit it double and then frog it if it's like too tight or like not the right length. I'm gonna look at the pattern, because I'm pretty sure the pattern gives you a number of rows to knit rather than the length to knit to, so I don't really know. If I do the maths, I think I could probably work out how long to knit it based on the 22 stitch gauge, but I'm a bit worried that it will be a bit too short or tight, and I really don't want it to like compress my cat. This is like half of, almost, yeah, I think, yeah, the first cast on is 56 centimeters, and because this is 22, it will probably be like a bit more than double this width for the body, which seems fine. I think I'm just gonna give it a go, to be honest, by holding the yarn double and holding it with 4mm needles. If not, I might increase my needle size, or I can see 3.25mm. I have 3.25mm needles. I mean, that's the problem. I was like, okay, I don't have 3.5, so I'll go to 3.25. That came out way too small. So I did 4mm. That was still small. Did double. It's still smaller than the gauge. Yeah, so I've done the gauge swatch, like I count it as being done, so I'm just gonna start knitting it, and then I'm gonna show you what I decide with this sweater. Okay, so it's now Wednesday, and although I said yesterday that I was casting on the cat sweater, I did cast it on, but I didn't work on it at all, like after I cast on the first round. So today, for like the past 2 hours, this is how much I've gotten done. Those holes are me being lazy and not increasing correctly, like the correct direction, but it doesn't bother me because it's just like a sweater that I don't even know if my cat is gonna wear. But honestly, it's so pretty. Like, this is my favorite type of yarn. I love, like, and by that I mean like the color. I love when pinks are variegated. Just looks so good, and I feel like it looks extra good because I'm like holding it double with 2 skeins. It looks so adorable. Like, I really wish I could wear something like this, but it's just too much going on at the same time. I was also seeing it like as a hat. I feel like that's cute too, but I definitely prefer knitting this for my cat than I do for myself. I'm just about to split for the sleeves, and when I do the sleeves, it's just me. I'm just gonna be binding off, so there's like a hole left for her to put her leg through. I'm kind of worried about, like, I told you yesterday that I'm having like gauge issues, so I'm literally just going off of the image to see whether like the length looks similar to where they split for the sleeves, and I think it does at the moment. And I really like the design. Maybe if I worked my increases better, it would have looked like more seamless, but the yarn doesn't let you see the rib that much anyway, so it's not that big of a deal. I'm really hoping that this is going to be like the narrow side that goes under her belly, and then this is just like the top side that you see better. And I can't wait to show you guys it finished. I think I'll check back in when I've finished it, which will be probably another couple hours, and then we'll try put it on her. I forgot to add that I did actually try putting this on her when it was like just the neck, like probably up to here, and she didn't even stress out that much. So I'm really like, all of a sudden I'm really optimistic about her being able to wear this. Okay, I'm just watching Twitch, but my cat came to see her jumper. I can't wait to see her in this. It's looking like a kid's jumper, and like it's kind of making me want to knit like baby clothes because it's so cute. And I mean, this is taking more time than I had expected. I think I've been working on this for 5 hours now, maybe less, maybe maybe 4.5, but I've only done this much. And it is 4mm needles, so I thought I would be knitting quicker, but there's just a lot of like increases to do. Right now I'm just knitting straight to fill up her body. So yeah, so this is a check-in. I have about maybe 1 hour of knitting to go before we can try it on her, but yeah, this is how it's looking so far. Right now I'm doing 6 knits and 3 purls, which doesn't look great with this yarn, but it looks like something I would want to knit for a jumper myself. So yeah. Okay, so it's a lot later. It's like 7 p.m. I think, and I finished the sweater and I've actually managed to get a photo of my cat in it, which I'll put here. I had to take it off her immediately because like she really didn't like it. Like a lot of cats don't like stuff against their skin, and I completely understand and empathize with that. But so anyways, this is what it turned out looking like. I really love the shape. I feel like it looks like a baby's clothing. It's making me want to knit like more baby clothes, but I don't have anyone in my life who has a baby yet. But I could make these for my friends who have cats, but again, like I think maybe for a dog would be more reliable. Like I feel like dogs are more likely to wear clothing than cats. So yeah, I think I said already, this is Hoshi's sweater pattern, and I found it on Ravelry. It is a free pattern and it is really easy to knit through. I think I counted, and it took I think 7 hours to finish this in using 4mm needles. And of course I held the sport weight yarn double. The color is really bad on here, but I'm sure the picture of my cat wearing it is like better visually. The only problem I had is that because I had the gauge issues, I wasn't able to knit the yoke to the like accurate length. I feel like I should have definitely split for the sleeves way earlier, unlike the pattern, unlike the instructions on the pattern. Yeah, like maybe 1 inch shorter, because it was like covering her arm basically. And also what else, oh yeah, the pore increases are definitely not fault of the pattern. It's definitely me like being lazy. Instead of like picking up from the actual stitch, I picked up in between the stitches just like regularly. I also made like another error at the very beginning where I basically did a turn and I didn't realize, so I did a turn in the same space the row after, so there's just a big hole there. Luckily this is like the front, because the back has 5 ribbed panels and the front has 3 I think. So yeah, the narrow side goes under the belly, and then the top side, I think is a really smart pattern honestly, and the fact that it's free is really good. I am gonna keep it just in case, like I don't know, there's like a moment where she starts wearing clothes more, like maybe when she's older, because she's only 4 now. So yeah, we'll see. If not, I can always gift it. I have many friends who have cats. Hey guys, it's now Thursday and I've spent the morning just doing my nails. They're just like a basic square shape with a baby pink, and I really love them. But as you can see, I'm wearing my Olga now, and I'm wearing it because I just finished drying it. I actually washed it in the washing machine yesterday because I went through each of the 3 yarns that I got and used for this project, and they all said I can machine wash it at 30 degrees, and that's what I did. And I'm just stretching the sleeves because it is very like stretchy, the material. I feel like it's a lot more relaxed, but it hasn't like gotten any longer, not too much longer anyways. The sleeves I think are a bit longer than the last time I tried it on, and definitely the width the body is, but the length itself I do have to like put it down a lot, but when I do it does stay at the length, and I'm actually really happy with this. I feel like it looks a lot better after I blocked it, because I was a bit like hesitant on like how everything would lay, and the collar is like looks really neat and flat. The cuffs actually like folded in, I think because there's like a dramatic decrease at the end, or I'm not really sure if it was my bind off, but I don't remember the pattern completely, but it is definitely tight around the wrist, like when pulling it off it's a lot tighter than the rest of the sleeve, and yeah, it kind of looks cute like that. And I did do Italian bind off for the jumper like at each of the sections, so I'm not really sure like why that happened, but again, it looks pretty good. Don't know if I would wear it, but I really like the top, like the colors, these oranges, they look really nice. Yeah, anyways, that's my Olga blocked. My plan for the rest of the day is to start sewing together the granny squares that I showed. They're up there if you can see. I have 2 pillowcases that I bought specifically like literally a couple years ago because I thought I was going to make some pillowcases then. Turns out I'm going to do that as like my stash busting project right now. I'll show you what they look like. They're just like really basic and cheap, like I think cotton filled pillowcases. They're not the most comfy, but they are like significantly stuffed with material, so they should come out really cute. I'm hoping that I'm gonna try and make it so the granny squares are like, oops, there's a hole in this one. I'm gonna try and make it so there's no like holes, because I don't want to see the white underneath it. And if that's the case, then I have some black fabric that I can line this pillowcase with, or line the granny squares with. I might even add a zip, but I have a 30cm zip. I think this might be like 40cm, so I'm not really sure how that will work. Maybe I'll button at the edges. I'm not really sure, but I really want it to be for the white not to show through, and for the whole thing to be covered. Yeah, so we'll see. I might make either 1 or 2 based on how I lay the granny squares, and I'll check back in probably when I've got like the layout sorted. Okay, so this is approximately how I'm gonna lay out the granny squares. I know that it seems like the 4x4 might not fit the whole pillowcase, but I think I'm gonna do a border around like when I join them all together, and then like I'm thinking whether to do a blanket stitch between or to crochet so there's like an actual visible border between them. Yeah, I think I actually will do that. And I'm gonna use like a white yarn, so on second thoughts I don't really mind if the white is showing through from underneath, and because this will be one side of it, after I do this then I'll think about the other side, because I don't think I have enough large granny squares, and if I don't, that's completely fine, because I have another, like I have so many color changing skeins that I would like to like use up, so I might knit a whole granny square for the other side so that it's like reversible. But I'll check back in again. So I'm just gonna start stitching them together. It's now a lot later and I've finished the panel of granny squares for one side of the pillow. I feel like it looks really cute with the white border. I did probably saw in that clip that I joined like as I went. So the only thing I have to do here is like just sew these two corners because I just forgot to while doing the last round of like borders. But I think it looks really nice. Like the white definitely mutes the rest of the colors, and it came out to be the perfect size for the pillowcase. So I'm holding the pillow against it. It's the exact same size. And while crocheting this, I remembered that the original pillowcase granny square from 2 years ago is still in my possession. Like I haven't unraveled it. This is what it was meant to look like. It was meant to be like a lot bigger, and I was going to do it so just one panel would go and fill up the whole pillowcase, so that it would all connect, like all the corners would connect in the middle, if you know what I'm saying. So right now I'm just doing the border for this because it's a few rows short. Sorry, yeah, it's a few rows short, and I'm gonna make it so it's the exact same length as the granny square panel. So here's me comparing them. Yeah, I think it's missing like maybe 2 rows of crocheting. I'm actually gonna hold it where the yeah. Once I add the border to this granny square, I'm going to try to find a zip. I know I have 30cm ones. It's black, so if I can try do an invisible seam, then I'll add it to this, even though it will be like from here to here, which I don't mind because you can still get the pillow in and out. Once I do the border, I'm gonna connect them, and I'll probably show you the results tomorrow when there's like better lighting. But again, here's the panel that I've finished, and then this is the one I'm gonna be working on for the rest of today, and hopefully in the next clip you'll see the end result of my pillow. Hey guys, it's now Friday and I did end up finishing the cushion cover, and this is what it turned out looking like. I am literally in love with how all these colors go so well together, and the white was like a perfect choice. I'm so glad I had this white for my stash. If you remember, I used this white as the contrast color for my Olga, and I had like 500 meters left, and I think this probably used up like 250. And yeah, so this is one side of the cushion cover. I also want to show you, yeah, the zip is semi-invisible. I think this is the best job I could have done by hand. I don't have a sewing machine, unfortunately, but yeah. So I just did like, I just mattress stitch, yeah, you can see here. I mattress stitched the zip itself, and then I was able to put my hook for it for each of the stitches, and then it's like semi-visible. Let me open it up and maybe show you better. So yeah, you can see those are the mattress stitches, and yeah, it's barely visible, the zip, and the black doesn't come through as much as I thought it would. So like you can't even see if you like just look at it like this. The other side is this old granny square. I really don't like the colors for this one, but I mean it is reversible, so I can always have it on this side. I'm really glad I got to use this up finally. Like, it's just been in my bag filled with like all my crochet stuff, and yeah, that's like one of the bigger projects that I had as a whip. Like I never expected to use it. I thought I was just gonna like unravel it, but I'm so glad I used it. As you can see, I also did like to join the front side and the back side I did a single crochet, and I really like how that looks. So I definitely recommend to finish a cushion like that because it gives it this really like neat seam. And I'm so glad I bought this pillow, this cushion, because it's so thick and squishy. Like it kind of feels like a cushion that you can sit on instead of like having as decoration. But I feel like it will be a really cute addition to my room. I want to make another one because I have a lot of self-striping yarn. None as bright as these colors, but maybe I could figure something out. I still do have like little scrap yarns that I store up in those boxes. Like I have 2 boxes full of them, and yeah, this is what it came out looking like. I'm really proud of this. So far we've had like 3 FOs in 5 days, which is crazy. So we have that project. Then today my yarn finally arrived after being delayed. This is the cone that I use for my step-by-step sweaters. This one for some reason looks a lot more massive than the first ones I ordered, even though they're the same amount of yardage. No, same amount of grams. I think they're 640 gram cones. And yeah, one of these was able to get me like 1.5 sweaters basically. If I didn't have the stripes, it would be like half a step-by-step sweater, which is really good because this cone cost me less than £15, I think, and it has a lot of wool content. So today I'm going to be working on the whip of the striped sweater. I'm just going to quickly grab that. So yeah, Friday is going to be dedicated to finishing this. I'm really hoping it doesn't take me the whole day because I feel like I've just been knitting like every single day and I want to be doing more productive stuff. So I only have to do 1 black stripe, a grey stripe, and then the black ribbing for the hem. And because each of the stripes are 14 rows, I only have to do like 42 rows basically, and they go by really fast. I think like this much of the sweater took me 2 or 3 days. Yeah, I'm so excited to have this finally finished, and then I'll be able to buy yarn maybe or use up some more stash. Again, I remember referencing that I have my yarn in 2 of the like duvet bags. That's how much space they're taking up, and that's all my like full skeins of yarn, and none of them are like worthy of being a sweater. Anyways, yeah, I'm gonna get to this so I can finish it, and I will probably end the video after I show you the sweater finished and tried on. Hey guys, it is now Sunday and I was meant to check back in on Friday, but I never ended up finishing this on Friday because I had other plans that I had forgotten about, and also yesterday is when I actually finished it, but at midnight, because again I had plans that day that I had forgot about. So today's Sunday, and even though I finished it last night, I wanted to show you today while there was like still good lighting, or like better lighting than there was at the time I finished it. And yeah, so it's finally finished. I'll show you what length I knitted it to. So this is probably the longer version of these jumpers that I've knitted so far. It might be the same length as the grey one, to be honest, but I didn't really measure it. It's meant to be 25 centimeters long, but that comes up way too cropped for me, so from the last part, like when I had no yarn, it was up to here. Finished that stripe, did the grey stripe, and then did the black half a black stripe, and then did some ribbing, and then bind it off. Okay, so I also wanted to show you how much yarn I had left, because yeah, it's like almost the exact same amount as it came as. So this is probably 600 grams now, and I have to figure out something to make with it. I'm a bit upset that I have that much yarn left over. I mean, there was no other option for me to buy less than a cone of yarn. Like, they don't sell it in smaller quantities, but the fact that this was meant to be like a stash slash like, yeah, stash busting project basically, because each of the yarns had given me a whole step-by-step sweater each. So I was like, oh, let me just make a third one with both of the colors. And then running out of that little bit of yarn was so sad. This is how much gray I ended up having. I think this is probably 5 or 10 grams, probably 5 grams. And so I just about made one more gray stripe, and then the black, obviously I have a whole 600 grams left, so I'll probably figure out what to do with that later on. I think I might knit my mum a sweater, but yeah, in a smaller size, so I'll probably have some left over from that as well, which is annoying, but there was no other option for me to like finish this project without the black. I also did a modification where, I mean, except for obviously the lengths, I changed all of that. Like, I always like mine to finish about here, because it will stretch to probably here, and I find that length more practical. For the hem, it was an accident, but I knitted the rib in the same needle size as the rest of the jumper, and that was just for the bottom of this, like here and here, and obviously the collar I did in 4.5, but yeah, this I did 5.5, and I actually really like how it came out. I feel like I might do that for most of my sweaters. So basically what I did was, I realized like 3 rows into the ribbing, I was like, let me just carry on to the end, and the last row I actually changed to 4.5 millimeter needles so that the bind off would not be wide, because I've had that before where like when I do the rib in the same size, it like flares out sometimes. So I just did that so that it would like still be a straight shape. Like right now it doesn't go in, it just stays the exact same width as the rest of the jumper. And I think when it blocks, it'll probably be like a bit longer and a bit wider. My other one stretched like a lot in width. That's not a complaint at all about the pattern or the yarn. I think it was like ideal that it would like be more relaxed. So yeah, and then I did Italian bind off after I changed to 4.5 millimeter needles. I really love this jumper. So this is my third step-by-step sweater in the past 2 months, which is crazy, but like it's not surprising based on it being a free pattern, it taking only like 5 days to actually knit, maybe even less. I think my grey one took 4 days, and then it's like you use 5.5 millimeter needles, which is super quick, super easy. It also is like really easy because it's a raglan, it's just like in the round the whole time. So yeah, I think I've made quite a lot of projects during this vlog. I might just quickly show them as like a recap. Okay, when I'm looking at them, they all look like such a cute color palette, especially the mittens and the cat sweater. So first, yeah, I made these mittens. They weren't knitted during the vlog, but they were knitted during the week. Well, at the beginning of the vlog, they were just finished. So here's a recap. I think I put the pattern name during when I was talking about them. They're called the simplest mittens or something like that. So those took a day. Then I made the cat sweater. I haven't tried putting on her since like finishing it, or since showing that picture of her in it, but I just really admire like how beautiful the yarn is, and it's kind of giving me inspo on like spring knitwear, because I think I need to knit more colors. I do a lot of like black and grey recently, and red. So yeah, this is a really cute color palette and a really cute cat sweater. Then we did the cushion cover with all the granny squares. I really love this one. This has been like my most worn item that I've finished. Like, obviously I don't actually wear it, but I use it every single day, like on the back of my chair, and it's super comfortable. And I'm gonna make another one probably next week. I might film that if you enjoy this content. And then obviously the sweater that I just showed you, really basic but really practical. Can't wait to get it blocked. Maybe I'll show you in another video. Please leave a like and subscribe if you enjoyed this video, so that I know that I should be making more of this style content. And also comment down below what you're working on right now. Again, because I've finished every single whip that I had. I literally have no cast on, or I haven't like no plan at all from this day forward on what I'm gonna knit. The only thing I think I am gonna knit is the toaster, but I don't have yarn for it or anything like that. So please let me know what you're working on. I'm really interested to see what everyone else is making in January and maybe February if I don't know when I upload this. Anyways, thanks again and bye.